So, still taking a little walk down here on the property, getting a few things done. We had a pretty bad flood last year, and so we're still, picking up garbage like you see there, and you'll see some buckets over there. And so, little bit by little bit, I've been picking up and hauling it back, and so it's kind of work day. It's hot, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And it's shaded in here, so it's a little bit more temperate. Sun's going behind some clouds. Maybe we'll get a thunder shower. But yeah, so we're seeing a lot of things happening here lately with Trump's attempted assassination. Biden telling us we'll just hold off until we get the facts, and the colossal failure of Trump's security forces. It's tantamount to, I don't know, probably the letting in of the Trojan horse. It's at this point, for years, I've been called a conspiracy theorist. Where's your tinfoil hat? And come on, you're going on with foolishness. But as we move forward, more and more people are starting to go, what you said back then, you were right, or what you said there, you were right. And more and more people who would never believe anything, they just thought I was nuts, are starting to go, that's worth thinking about, because there's something just not right with what we're being told. For a lot of people, that was 9/11. For another pile of people, that was, there's been different events, all the way along. But COVID, people who bought in heavy, a lot of them had strokes and had mild heart attacks. Some of them died, family members died. They just realized that they were completely bamboozled, and the government and the pharmaceutical companies just screwed them. And so more and more they've realized, hey, what we're being told is absolute nonsense, and it's time to really question it, And along with that, conspiracy theorists, and what who have historically been called conspiracy theorists, are now, news anchors. And I almost don't want to use that term because conventional news networks are just so full of lies. But people are starting to apologize to us for questioning. What we used to question it, and it used to annoy them. Now they're going, not that they agree with everything we say to this day, I can say a lot of things that piss a lot of people off, but less and less all the time. And some people I know that were really straight and narrow, paid their taxes, middle class kind of people, believed in voting and believed in science and believed in this and believed in that. And they weren't on the fence. They were like, you're nuts, They've, swung 180 degrees. They're like, I'm just getting screwed. I get fucked. I've got 4 shots in. I'm sick. I got screwed on this. I got screwed on that. Every time I turn around, I'm being lied to, taken advantage of, misused. The government is misrepresenting itself, lying through its teeth. And they're finally starting to, the veil is lifting. They're finally starting to see, it's like the Wizard of Oz and the curtain. Don't look back here, nothing going on. Little guy behind the curtain operating all the levers. So they're starting to see that, maybe they're questioning. Actually, for a lot of them, it's a crisis. It's a crisis of identity, because, like, if I've been that wrong about this, and how could I be that wrong about this? Then what am I right about? What else have I been wrong about? And maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. I've been wrong lots of my life, and You fall down, you get back up, you brush yourself off, you learn from your mistakes, and hopefully you learn from your mistakes, and you carry on. And if need be, you apologize, and and whatever. And hopefully, as you get older, you get a little wiser, and your accumulated knowledge starts to amalgamate and starts to mold into something that we can say, and of course, where you're able to really call bullshit on a lot more things, or you're able to go, well, maybe we should stop and think about that. So if you're hard, system-oriented, woke, politically active, believing in the system type of individual, well, I'm sorry. Eventually it's gonna hurt you too. It gets everybody eventually. Unless you're so wealthy that you can just buy what you want when you want and buy your way out of whatever you want, But for most of us, that's not the case. Most of us, there are reactions for your actions, and and actions for your reactions, and there's a price to pay. There's a price to pay when you're wrong. There's a price to pay when you're right, and there's a price to pay for blindly accepting things, and there's a price to pay for speaking about things you don't think are accurate, that you called bullshit on, because City Hall and the powers that be can push back real hard. And I've learned this. Sometimes it's you need to speak out. Sometimes you need to keep your damn mouth shut, because can you say it loud enough, long enough, hard enough, fast enough, so that they don't push you under and silence you if you've got that big of a platform? Actually, I think that's a quote from one of the Bourne series. I like the Bourne series. So, but it's true, so you have to, as these things, the veil starts to lift, and you start to see that things aren't as they've been presented. Science is not what it should be, and neither is religion. And we are all just learning as we go along. And don't be too hard on yourself if you realize that for years you've been lied to, because we've all been lied to. Just learn from your mistakes, try and change your behavior, and spread the message as you learn it, as you learn what's really going on. But don't buy into government bullshit. Don't buy into lies. Don't believe what if you don't have to believe what I say. If you can't verify it through 8 or 10, 12 independent sources that are not the government or some other private government funded organization, then it's probably not true. But there's lots of evidence out there for lots of different things that are not true, and you don't have to look that hard to find it. All you have to do is have a desire to look for the truth and see what's real and what's nonsense. And if you're using your common sense, if you stop and think about things, you just don't accept it blindly because they say it on CBC or CNN or Fox or the BBC or some nonsense like that. And if you question everything you hear, my father used to say, believe nothing you hear and only half you see. And until you can prove otherwise, at the very least. And in today's world, it's never applied more, because with AI and video and deception and sleight of hand tricks, they can show you almost anything, or that you want to see. Your brain can twist things very easily. And so just be aware that not everything is as it seems. Hey, Abby, and little doggy. And that we all learn as we go along, and if you're new with your tinfoil hat, I hope it fits comfortably, and welcome to the club. Cheers.